We have laws, we have articles in the law where it's very clear settled that we have to respect the right of the child to have a relationship with both parents and so on and so on. But in fact, if the judges and the prosecutors and the other professionals are not understand the concept of parental alienation and the consequences on short, medium and long terms, the law are for, let's say, nothing. I was thinking, what should I do? And because I'm a teacher at the university, I was thinking that I have to teach the prosecutors and the judges how to deal with this phenomenon, how to recognize it, how to accept that it's need to have a psychological report, psychological expertise. I've started to organize conferences and different partnerships. I had to gain their trust. Step by step, I succeed, let's say, to open the eyes to the professionals. I propose them to have a workshop to analyze together this phenomenon. And first of all, I've asked to allow me to study the files, also in prosecutors' field. And after that, we met all together and put the psychology with the legal system together. We don't talk just about theory, we are talking about practice. Here it's written that and that and that. Let's analyze this from your perspective and from my opinion, like a psychologist. So we have to organize a conference to explain the judges that not all the psychologists are able to do these expertises. We have in Romania an institute who used to teach psychologists to do this kind of psychological expertise. They are very well trained for 2 years and they become like an expert in identifying parental alienations. Here is the book. It's the book with the experts, with the people who were trained for 2 years after faculty and master. But you have to choose one of this, not random. What can be done? Not to stop, because I think it can be stopped. But to stop spreading this phenomenon as it spreads today, very quickly. A lot of cases, many cases. Alienating parents speculate on and use the gaps in the legislation against their own children. Not necessarily the law is the problem. The understanding of the gravity of the phenomenon is the problem. If you are a judge and you understand the phenomenon, I'm pretty sure that you can find enough articles in the law to justify your decision. The judge may order to send the child for 3 months of psychological counseling. But this is not enough, because, okay, the children will go there and he will spend there 1 hour and after that he will return home, where the parent waiting for him or for her as continuing the process of parental alienation. Our proposal, like a study group in Romania, was to send not just the child, but also the both parents to attend this 3 months of psychological counseling. This is not a law, but it should be. They do a lot of things just not to respect the right of the children to have contact with the other parent. When the child refuses to go, they have the obligation to take their own child and to drive to the other parent home. Because they used to say, okay, I allow him to go, but he refuses to go. Of course, you are in your own house. But when you ask to this parent to go with the child to the other house, things are more complicated, because he lost the position of the master of the house. He has to do something, or she has to do something to let the child, or to explain how it was possible to travel with the child 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, or 3 kilometers away from their house, and suddenly in front of the other house the child said, no, I don't want to come in. Explain. How is possible that? In fact, there is no explanation. The parents are suffering. I do not contest this. But the biggest sufferance is regarding to the child, because he has no control. He can't do anything. So this is very painful. It came into my mind an image with a boy, a very smart one, with very smart parents. They are fighting since 2015 or 16, something like that. They just destroy their own boy. His behavior sometimes regarding to his mother is like a 5-year-old children. Means mom, asking her mom through eyes if it's okay to speak with me, if it's okay to play with the other children, if it's okay to go to another room. And this is not right. I think it's normal to have the freedom to discover and to try to do things by themselves. One of the worst things is exactly this. They lost the autonomy. They become addicted to their alienating parent. I think we have to worry about these kids like future adults, because they can become our kids' bosses. We can work with them one day, and we do not understand why they behave in a strange way. We, like adults, we need to be empathic. We need to understand people. We need to love people. Or if your mom or if your dad ask you and teach you just to hate, it's not right. It's not good for you. It's not good for the other people. You may be like an antisocial. I'm still wondering how it's possible for people with high education to not think about the consequences. You are not wondering, okay, now it's a child, but in 10 years he will become an adult. What happened then? I realized that this subject, this topic, is huge. It's a very, very sensitive subject, and we really have to aware about these consequences. If we are talking about the other countries, let's say we are on the right way. We are on the way. It's not finished, the procedure. We still have many judges who do not understand the phenomenon. How will be the future if you do nothing regarding to parental alienation? How will be the society if we do nothing?